Bitcoin update for Tuesday. Let's see what the week and the days look like ahead. We're going to look at some important zones on the weekly. We'll start off here, then we'll zoom in a little bit, and even the 4 hour. We're going to check that as well, so you know what to watch for the rest of today, tomorrow, the rest of the week. Like I said, repeating myself already. Let's get right to it. This zone, right? Our weekly close last week. Our main goal, like on Friday's video, close above the EMA 200, this pink line, right? We did that. Perfect, okay? We're still a little sketchy, right? Here's our kind of end-all be-all line, right? Line in the sand. If we break below this guy right here, right? This is our breakout level. You don't want to be closing back below that. If we do, we're likely spinning at least the rest of the year under that line. So let's not even step into the trapdoor abyss, okay? Now, the positives are, we're at major moving average, the EMA 200. We've already tapped off the lower Bollinger Band. So by definition, prices are low at the low Bollinger Band and high at the high Bollinger Band. So if you didn't know, now you know. So the 200, right? Ideally, for bulls, we'd like to kind of, again, close our second weekly candle above that. 25.5 is kind of right on it, right? If we close under that, so we're relatively close right now, so this is important. So we need to close above that for our second weekly time. If we close under there, odds improve of us testing, this big guy here. Why is this such a big level, right? Well, here is our previous resistance, months apart, and then we broke through it. We come back down, we hold support on the 200 in this zone, and this is why this is a zone. This is our lowest close so far, right? Still our lowest close right here. From back in June, that we closed at 25.9, right? We're on the verge of potentially doing that, testing that. We're right at 26 as of recording, so we still have majority of the week left. We'll check on this as the week progresses, right? We'll do updates, try to do daily updates, right? But our low, why is this zone down here? Well, it's this wick, right? Our low wick of 24,750. You don't want to be messing with that either. So 24,750, the low close, the low wick, right? So that's the zone, right? That's where we go. If we go under that, it's no more cautiously optimistic. It's cautiously bearistic, right? Word of the day. All right, so we'll address that bridge when we get to it, right? We don't need to talk about, how we're going to escape the lava if we're not even going to touch it, right? So let's cross the bridge when we get to it, okay? As of this week right now, the ideal bull scenario for me, right? If we come down here, hit off of that wick again, maybe like low 25s, come back up and close, anywhere up in here, and then put in a kind of a tweezer bottom, right? A tweezer bottom would be very bullish. And then we'd likely want to see some follow through the next week. If we get back up here, right, our main target is going to be this area. Why? I'm glad you asked. The 100 week, right, the blue line, and the 21 week, right, historically, right, that 21 week, the yellow line, that's where it holds, right? And an uptrend, bullish uptrend, that's where you hold. So we've closed 1 week below it. So now we're on thin ice. The ice is cracked. We're ice skating. It's our first time ice skating. The ice is cracked. What the hell do? We have no experience, right? We don't know what is going on. Are we going to fall through, right? We're potentially, but we need to recover here within the next, I would say 10 days. We'll get it even to the end of the month. The end of the month, September 1st, if we're still under the 21 week, right, that's around 28K, you got to start leaning and getting prepared for lower prices. This is already the warning sign, right? Some people are still not paying attention, and it's still just a warning sign, so we could avoid the danger. But the longer we're hanging down here, the less comfy it's getting, right? The lava's turning up. Okay, so we'll check on this throughout the day, throughout the week, right? We'll do daily updates, so check back. Let's zoom in. Let's check the 3 day. We haven't checked that much, right? The good news and bad news here on the 3 day. Well, we're, again, under all the moving averages, so by definition, you're a little bit more bearish there. But we're also way the hell outside the lower Bollinger Band, right? So the odds are we trend sideways or slight bounce here, right? Anytime you get way outside of the Bollinger Bands, and the last time this happened, right? I mean, you got to go way back. I mean, look at the times, like all this downside. How much is outside of the Bollinger Bands? We haven't seen anything like this in 2023, right? By look at the chart, look at the facts. We have never seen a 3-day candle pressing this hard, even close to that hard outside the Bollinger Band. So something here is different, right? I mean, you can't argue with that, right? The only time we've seen a press like this outside the Bollinger Bands was in the uptrend, right? Look at the press up, 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 outside, outside. This is a strong move. So you need to be paying attention to this. So when this updates, this 3-day candle closes today. So we'll see where this updates. I would guess that the Bollinger Band is going to look like an inverse of this, where it's going to print and it'll start to look, about like that. That's not the important part. The important part is how is this top one going to update. If it's still pointing up like this, that's a bad sign. That means the move is still got momentum and power. If, however, the price action updates and we're really close or touching it, like we were kind of right there, right? See this? And you have to have and this band is like kind of closing like this. That's a good sign. That's a sign of weakening momentum to this downside, and likely the move is, relatively close to being over. Not that you can't go down more, but the big damage would be that guy, just based on of this, right? You're just trying to improve your odds in reading charts. That's all we're doing, right? Charts aren't meant for predicting the future. They're meant for interpreting the past, okay? So that's where we are in the 3-day. Also, this 200, right? But on the 3-day chart, that's also a 600-day EMA, right? 600-day moving average. You don't want to be playing around with that too much, right? We did it a little bit too long down here even to be comfortable. And then we got to move up, and then we're back down below it. So this is certainly uncertain times. Certainly uncertain. All right. So daily charts, again, relatively bearish because you're under all moving averages, we're holding multiple closes under the 200-day right here, right? We got a little bit of a deviation back here and instant recovery. Not so this time. So a rally to the upside, you want to be checking your moving averages. The EMA 8, probably the initial test usually holds there. Beyond that, you have your 200. Beyond that is the 21. So watch this as they, if we start to move up, right, it's the EMA 8, the 200, the 21. That's really the only three I'd be looking at. Above that, you got your 100, right, previous support, the wick, right? So those are all the three moving averages I'd be watching to the upside if we get a relief bounce or a rally or whatever you want to call it. Move back to the upside. To the downside, all we're focusing on the daily chart is this guy right here. You don't want to put in a lower low, right? By definition, we're still in an uptrend all of 2023. That definition shifts bigly if we take this guy out. So that would be a new lower low, right? We haven't done that, right? So that low is 24.8 with the wick and the close at 25.1. We're relatively close to that, so it's time to pay attention for sure. If we do that, if we close under here, by definition, the uptrend is now in jeopardy. It's not over, because if we rally, you'd want to look for a higher high, or then by definition, if you put in a lower high again, so we're looking at this guy right here, we'd have to get back above 30K. It's kind of a tall ask, isn't it? So if we have a rally, we have to get back above that. If we, even if we put in a lower high low, right? This is our next target if we move to the upside that we must break. Especially if we break this, right? So if we put in like a lower here, right? If we do something like this, and then we fail to take out this guy, then by definition, we're now starting a downtrend. So we'll see that. We'll just pay attention, take it a day at a time, and go from there, right? So 4 hour, we'll zoom into our final chart so you know what to watch for at least the rest of today. So look at how tight the Bollinger Bands are. So likely but depending on when you watch this, right? If it's hours from now, we might already have made a move, right? We need to be paying attention of what's going to happen here. So to get your odds of which way you're going, you want to pay attention to what part of the Bollinger Bands you're in. See this thin purple line? I know it's hard to see. That's the median line. Also the 20 SMA. The 21 EMA is the yellow. The 20 SMA is the median Bollinger Band, if you didn't know that. So whatever side of whatever half of that you're on, as the mouth starts to open, is likely the direction you're going to go, right? You can get fake outs like we did here, right? Fake out, move down, tap, and then fake out, move up, tap. We went from lower to upper, and then right back to the middle, right? So now we're doing that again, but the bands are continuing to squeeze here. So low volatility leads to higher volatility, right? So we're watching that. You want to, again, it's not where the price is, it's where the price is if the mouth starts to open like this, right? This is where you want to pay attention to. So if you're down here and you see the upper band going up, the lower band going down, the mouth is opening, then you're going down the slide, right? However, if it doesn't open, right, and it closes, right, fake out, right? Look at that. See how it closes as we went down here? It didn't open, did it? Not at all. Did the opposite, right? So fake outs until you get this, right? Even if you get this, right? Do some studying on Bollinger Bands. Those are very useful. So if you need to brush up on your Bollinger Band skills, get to Googling. All right. What else? Quote of the day. I know you're all interested in that. It's amazing how complete the delusion is the delusion that beauty is goodness. So the first thing I thought of, what's the first thing you think of in here? The delusion that beauty is goodness. My mind goes real weird. So I got a zoomed out picture of the Earth in space and how calm and beautiful the Earth is from space and how much chaos has occurred on that little ball over the past, thousands of years, right? So that's the first thing I thought of. Then I thought of, obviously, maybe it's, like people, right? Not all beautiful people are good, right? Or cities, right? Sometimes cityscapes are beautiful looking, and obviously not all goes well in there. Those are the three things I kind of thought of. Anybody think of something drastically way off? Other than that, I'd like to know. Leave me a comment. Car of the day, any guesses? Lamborghini Countach, kind of alluded to that on Friday. So last year, Costco, my minimum Costco run, I got that exact one. This year, they had an updated one in the retina burning orange. Haven't seen this one in real life yet, so I think this is maybe just a Costco exclusive. But the Lamborghini Countach, the new one, new model, in neon orange, go with that. All right, $17. I mean, you can't beat it. So if you got a Costco and you don't have any car collection, now's the time to start. All right, I'll wrap it up there. Thanks for the 4 of you watching this long. Yeah, we'll do daily updates. Keep you in the loop. So like, subscribe. If you want more content, Twitter, Telegram, Patreon, private group on there. And I'll hope to see you there. If you're watching this long, you're probably already there. All right.